Beat Making Basics.
What's going on YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to my channel, please do me a favor, go ahead and subscribe as well as give me a thumbs up. It does help the channel out. But without further ado, let's jump in. All right, so what we're going to be covering is how to make dope drum patterns. Okay, so it's like basically we're continuing our series where we're doing hacks and tips and tricks and stuff like that. So we're going to be doing some drum pattern hacks, some basics, some things I've known, some things I've learned, some things that, I feel like will help when it comes to creating drum patterns, specifically in Logic Pro 10. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to actually continue using the sample that we created within Logic Pro 10. I'm just going to play it real quick just so y'all can hear it if you're brand new. All right, so that's that. First things first, let's go ahead and pull up a new track, okay? And we're going to use the software instrument track. Instead of using Alchemy, we're actually going to go ahead and go down to the quick sampler. Now, I'm going to show you something very brand new that you may or may not know that you could do, all right? So like in Logic Pro 10, whether you're using Logic Pro 10.5 or Logic 10.7, they have different drum sounds within Apple Loops. Okay, so if you click all the way over here to the top right of the screen, there's this little loop right here. So you have these 4 buttons. You're going to pick the loop. All right, and you can come over here to this button that says Instrument, and then go to All Drums, or you can even go to Kits. So you can say Kits right here, and it's going to pull up. But I'm just going to say All Drums. And you could just search loops. Now you can also go to the genre and you say, all right, cool, I want to make a hip hop beat, so click that. Now all of the hip hop beats are going to pull right on up. Now, why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because, like, say if you don't have any kits yet, you know what I mean? You haven't got my next level drum kit that's going to be re-releasing, or you haven't got, my melody kit that I have. You know what I'm saying? You can actually come right here in Apple Loops, and we're going to show you how you can make your own drum sounds in the quick sampler. So first things first, we need a clap, right? So let's find a clap. All you have to do is actually search and say clap right here in the search bar. Now we have several claps to choose from. Let's listen. All right, so that's actually good enough. I'm gonna take this and drag this right in here. All right, and so all I'm gonna do, you just gotta make sure you're in classic mode. I'm telling you, bro, this is a hack. This is a major hack. Make sure you're in classic mode, right? Which is this one, not one shot, not slice, not recorder, classic mode. And you're gonna go over here, click right in this area, and then go to loop, turn that off, no loop, okay? Take this guy, pull him to the very beginning, and then you can hold down Option and scroll left or right on your mouse or your trackpad to zoom in and get to the very beginning of that transient of the clap sound. What is a transient, you might ask? Basically, you see how your wave is going up and down. The peaks are your different transients. That's just what they call them. All right, and we're gonna scroll back out, and we're gonna take this guy and move him somewhere in there. Cool thing here, if you go to the very top of this aspect of things and move that over, that's gonna put a fade on this, and so that clap sound is not gonna be pretty smooth. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw up the musical typing, just so you can kind of see what I'm doing on my MIDI keyboard. And let me see here. All right, there you go. Now what you could do is come within this quick sampler, right? And if the sound is coming in kind of like low, it's okay. Just come over here to amp that bad boy up. You can just push it up like that. Now it's coming in a little too hot now, but actually don't even worry about how hot it's sounding. As long as it's not distorting, you can do that. You can also mess with some of these other aspects of things. If you want it to sound a little more dark, you can take this filter and turn it down. Push this drive up to give it a little more of a scratchy sound. You can change this. You know, there's a lot of different things you could do. Let's go over here to gritty. Not quite what we were looking for. I'm actually gonna just leave that alone. I think it was on Lush. Let's see here. So anyway, there you go. You got your clap. So now that we have our clap, we can just name that Clapo. Name that. And we're gonna go ahead and just lay down this pattern. I always lay down the clap first or a snare first because it's going to instantly give you that rhythm when it comes to making drum beats. You feel me? Or drum, actual beats. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna push R. I'm gonna make sure that the metronome is enabled, and we're gonna go from there. All right, cool. So now that you have your clap pattern, next thing you're gonna do, you just double click on the pattern actually right here. And what's gonna come up is your in your editor, okay? This editor is found with the scissors right here at the top left. Make sure piano roll is selected. This push command A to highlight everything. And we're gonna scroll down here to 1/8. Why 1/8 swing, if you might ask? Well, whenever you're quantizing instruments, you basically want to do it based on the note length or how many notes you see in here. So basically for a simpler pattern, it's going to be a lower actual note. So like say if it only had you can even do 1/4. But anyway, that's what we're going to do. So we got our clap here. I can actually turn it down some. It's a little loud. I did put it loud, but let's listen to it now. All right, so you got a basic clap sound. All right, cool, fun enough. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna create another track. You don't always have to push this this little plus sign. You can create tracks lots of different ways. Go over here. There's a hotkey to do it too. You can push Option, Command, and the letter N. Lots of different ways to create tracks. You feel me? So anyway, we're gonna keep on going. Quick sampler, create. Now we're gonna need hi-hats. I always go with the hi-hats next because hi-hats, man, I'm telling you, are gonna really drive that beat. So you guessed it, you're basically going to go over here and type in hi-hats under the search. Or you might put it together. Or you might just put hat. There you go. So you put hat in here and it's gonna pull up all these different hat patterns. You can actually use these patterns or you can create your own. Anyway, same difference here. If you don't want to create your own, you don't want to use their pattern, you can just take their hats. You feel me? It's that simple. So let's take that hat right there. We're gonna put it into a original, and same difference here. Turn off the loop, and we're just gonna drag this right here. We're gonna take this hat right here. Hold Option in. We're gonna zoom in, scroll over, zoom in, scroll over, and we're just zooming in by holding down Option and pushing, going left or right on the mouse or on your trackpad. You remove this guy to the very beginning. We're trying to get to the beginning of that transient where everything starts. All right, bet. So now we have this hi-hat here. Again, you can push up the volume, and it's gonna give you a better sounding hi-hat. All right, bet. So we got a hi-hat now, and I can just double click here and say hat. Boom. And now we can lay down a hi-hat. We can lay down a hi-hat multiple ways. Do it manually, or we can draw it in, or I say use the step sequencer. It's probably the faster way to draw in patterns or create patterns. So we're just gonna open up the step sequencer, which if you're brand new, you can also click the scissors, and then from piano roll, score, step sequencer right here. So this is what you could do to really get a pattern going. I always do it like this just to start, and you can always add or delete notes. So basically every other one. Now we could keep it simple like that. That works, but I'm gonna push this up some to 64 steps. Okay. And if I close this, I don't know. So anyway, what you want to do here is you want to affect this pattern. You want to go from these different options here. This option right here is going to take care of this half of the hi-hat pattern, and this option right here is going to take care of this half of the hi-hat pattern. Okay. If you look right here, you can see this little white thing going right here, and you also will see it there. That's where you're gonna know where you are in the pattern. And you basically add some different variation by, clicking and adding different notes. So let's just start with that. So we could do something more in depth. For this video, I'm not necessarily going to go super crazy on the hi-hats. Now, I will preface this that keeping things simple is really going to be a rule of thumb on this. You feel me? You don't want to overdo it. So we're just going to just take this and drag it over by holding down Option. And then what we could do is actually create some variation though. So like this hi-hat pattern is doing what it's doing over here, but for the second half of this loop, we're going to go ahead and change up the hi-hat pattern. So like instead of clicking on this part, maybe we might put it right here. Maybe instead of this going right here, might add another note here. So now let's listen. All right, cool. So now let's listen to it all together, and we're going to have a unique hi-hat pattern, even though we kept it simple. So we have one doing one thing on this side and another doing something on this side. All right, cool. So we got our clap, we got our hat. Now the next thing you're gonna need is a kick drum pattern. So repeating the process here, repeat on. You feel me? So we're gonna come over here. Actually, and I don't need all these other guys here, so we're just gonna delete those out of here by pushing the delete button. First things first, though, we're gonna need an actual kick sound. So same thing here. I'm just gonna click on that, and instead of hat, I'll just put kick. So I'm gonna drag this over here, and we're just gonna grab one of those kick pattern or kicks. Since it's a short pattern, you don't necessarily even need to worry about editing it. And also, since it's a kick, it's gonna already be at the very beginning. So we can scroll over here just to make sure, but like I said, since it's a kick pattern, it's already gonna be at the beginning here. So I can move this over just a little bit though, just to make sure it's like right at the punching part of the kick. Put that little fade on it, and now we got our kick pattern. Same difference here, 16 steps to 64 steps, and now we can change things up here. So basically what you want to do is just play your beat and just listen to it, and then as you see this little white box go over the patterns, you can kind of see as you listen to your beat where the next pattern should go, or next kick pattern should go. So make sure it's highlighted by clicking on it. Make sure we focus on this part first. So actually, I don't like some of this stuff. We'll just take it out like that. This is another reason why I like creating with the step sequencer. You know, creating notes and deleting notes are super simple. Just okay, same difference here. What we'll do is we'll hold down Option, drag this on over, and we can add a little bit more variation here so it's not sounding super repetitive, right? That's why we're adding the variation. So come over here, click there. All right, cool. So that's enough. Again, you want to keep things simple, especially with drum patterns. You don't want to overdo it. Keep it simple, and then you can add or remove as you go. So we'll push there and just name this as kick. All right. All right, cool. So just move some notes around just by clicking and unclicking. And now we pretty much have a full pattern here. Specifically, honestly, we just have 3 instruments here, and it sounds pretty dope. You know what I mean? There's more you can add to it, but I just wanted to show you the basics of some hacks that you could apply to your drum making in Logic Pro 10, or drum programming in Logic Pro 10. Again, going over some of the steps here is you can actually go over here to the loop, Apple Loops, you pick out some sounds that you like, drag them into the sampler. You can come into the sampler and boost the signal by going over here to the volume or the amp, and come over here to filter. You can play around with these knobs and stuff like that. Now, I will give you one more hack before we leave here. So say if you really like this kick, the snare, hat, whatever, and you want to save that pattern or that kick sound for later, all you're going to do is go over here to the factory default setting right here and go down to save or save as, and you'll just name this, okay? So instead of untitled, you could just say punch kick or something like that. So we'll just say that. I said, yeah, punch kick. Push save. And now, like, if I ever want to pull this back up, so what I'll do is just create a new track just to show you. Instrument, quick sampler, create. If I want to pull that back up, I can go over here to factory default. I can either push load, or if you'll notice, it's already right here. But let's say if I wanted to push load, I can also pull it up this way. All right, double click it here. Bam, I got the sample in there. All of my knobs and settings and everything is right there. And now I can play it. So anyway, y'all, I just wanted to keep it kind of basic here. You could take what I'm showing you and run with it. And make sure you are subscribed to my channel. I'm giving y'all game, okay? I'm not holding back. I'm going to be breaking down everything for you, video by video. Now, if you don't want to, search around on my channel for all the sauce, all you got to do is go to my website, beatmakingbasics.com. What I've done and what I'm going to be doing is I'm dropping more content there in the form of courses. Now, the courses, what they're going to be is organized, okay? And you won't have to go online after you pay for it and download it or whatever. And I'm also experimenting with the pricing. I think what I'm going to do is all my products on my site are going to be around $20. At least for right now. It might go up, might go down. But for right now, all the products on my site are only going to be $20. All right, so if you're watching the end, you got all the way to the end, just know, it's a little quick 20 and you can get super, super value, okay? So check this out. Like I said, everything's going to be organized. Everything's going to be in one place. Once you download it, it's going to be on your computer. You don't have to be on YouTube. You don't have to have internet connection. You don't have to be anywhere doing that type of stuff. You can be on a plane, okay? Plane don't usually have internet. You feel me? You could be on a bus. You could be in a car. You feel me? You could pull up the course and watch videos at your own leisure. Everything is organized. It's going to show you step by step how to make beats in Logic Pro 10.5. If you get that course, then I have other courses that I'm dropping and I also have on there. And I also have a melody kit you can use, drag and drop. I'll be making more videos using that melody kit. And I'm about to re-release my next level drum pack. Just wanted to make sure that that drum pack is hitting super hard and snapping for you all, okay? Anyway, I don't want to overextend the video and overextend my talking. So what we're going to do is end the video. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing and being a supporter of this channel. Definitely got love for you all. And without further ado, we're out.